Alrighty, hey guys, gearing up for another shootout here, and I'm glad that we're getting this one. Haven't seen this one quite some time. Notice I'm going to do probably 2.5 bars of side spin here. You want to keep your side spin under tops back spin under 5 when you're setting up here to do this. It's not going to want to, go out to the hole. You do want to go towards max adjustment here. So that's 5 rings. There's 10 rings. There's 13 rings. And then aside from that, with that side spin that I put on it to kind of counter the wind here, you should see it shoot relatively towards the hole here. I'm not going to need to really utilize any curl. About 3 rings here is pretty good. And you see I'm landing more centered on my bullseye there. But I just want you to be aware that you need at least 2 or 3 side spin here to counter if you want to avoid going at the with curl. So keep that in mind. Of course, this shot here is also very doable, that you can do a top spin shot. You want to be a little cautious. I wouldn't recommend setting up the way that this guy is, just because it's going to start bringing the second bounce into question, hitting the rough again on accident. I tend to set up more centered into the rough when you go over towards the rough there, but it's not to say that you're not going to pull it off. But I just think it brings in just kind of like an extra little risk when you set up a little bit closer. But anyway, hopefully you found this one beneficial for you guys. You're going to want to fluctuate your backspin between max and 4.5 bars. Well, it could potentially be even more had I not put Kingmaker on. So let me just make a little note about that real quick. So the max wind you can ever see on a shootout is 13 for a Kingmaker, and I just had a 12.7. So that means that wind was 19 point something if I didn't have Kingmaker on. So since I was pushing, that I was just lucky that I needed a Kingmaker for my drive on that last hole. Otherwise, I was going to have a Katana on, and I would have had 14 point something. But when you're in the face like that, make sure you're pulling towards max distance. So that's going to be the time where 12.7. I'm going to go 13 rings, 12.7 rings, whatever you want to go. That little extra third ring isn't going to cost you anything. So make sure you're doing that. Make sure you're putting on some kind of side spin or curl adjustment when you are gearing up to have a side wind like that, and fluctuate the way that you're doing the top spin, back spin. You got to take off some of that back spin. So you've seen me go, jam max and land it on the front of that fairway. There you're seeing me land more on the center of the island, and doing it with 4.75 bars of backspin. So keep that in mind, and I'll be doing some more tutorials for you guys. Hopefully I can get a side wind on that hole. If I can't, just keep in mind that for about a 10 side wind, you're going to need about 3 bars of side spin, and probably 1.2 on your adjustment. 1.1 to 1.2, somewhere in between there for your adjustment, for your ring adjustment. And good luck with that hole. Hopefully I can get that wind and show you guys, but if I can't, just keep that in mind as a little bonus tip for you guys. So good luck with that one.